English version is in description.
On the morning of 7th December 2025, at exactly 11 am, an emergency call rang through Pratap Nagar police station in Yamnagar, Haryana. The caller's voice was trembling. He reported that near Popular Nursery, located close to National Highway 907, a young woman's body was lying abandoned in bushes. The most horrifying part of the call was not just a presence of a dead body, but the fact that the head was missing. Within minutes, police teams rushed towards the location via Jagadri Paunta Sahib Road. As they approached Popular Nursery, they were met with a disturbing sight. A large crowd had already gathered. Police cleared the onlookers and secured the crime scene. And what they found would haunt even the most experienced officers. Hidden inside dense bushes lay the body of a young woman wearing nothing except undergarments. Her head had been brutally severed and it was nowhere to be found. It wasn't just a murder, it was a message. To investigate the scene, police immediately called in the scene of the crime officers, forensic teams, crime investigation agency, and dog squad units. Until the teams arrived, police began questioning the man who had first discovered the body. His name was Vijay, a nursery worker who ran a small nursery near Bahadurpur Gurudwara. Vijay told police that around 11 am he was heading towards the Gurudwara to fetch water when his eyes fell on something unusual inside the Popular Nursery. As he moved closer, the horrifying truth unfolded before him. A headless body. The shock left his legs weak. Gathering himself, Vijay immediately called Paramjeet Sandhu, the owner of the farmland. Paramjeet, panicked and shaken, dialed 112 and alerted the police. Paramjeet suspected that the body had been dumped either late night on 6th December or during early hours of the 7th December 2025. The crime officer's team meticulously collected samples from the scene. Sniffer dogs were deployed. The dogs picked up the scent and moved nearly 20 meters inside the nursery, then headed toward the highway, and suddenly they stopped and they circled the same spot repeatedly. The trail had been vanished, as if the killer had deliberately erased himself. Forensic examination revealed disturbing details: a thread tied around the victim's right leg, a birthmark on her abdomen, and the most horrifying, the neck had been cut using an extremely sharp weapon. This wasn't just a crime of impulse, it was calculated. The body was sent to Makandlal Civil Hospital and Trauma Center, Yamuna for the post-mortem. Initial findings suggested that the victim was between 25 and 30 years old. Police concluded she had been murdered elsewhere and her body was dumped at the nursery to delay identification. The missing head and clothes were a deliberate attempt to erase her identity. Yamuna had seen the similar cases previously, where the women were sexually assaulted, murdered, and then dumped into the isolated areas. Naturally, the panic spread. Who could have committed such brutality? With no identification, missing head, and with no suspect, the case immediately turned into the blind murder investigation. To make the matter worse, the crime scene was committed near to the borders of Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh, and it raised the serious questions. Did the killer come from Haryana, or he escaped to another state? The police searched nearby fields, canals, and the forest to find the severed head, but they found nothing. On 8 December 2025, investigators shifted their focus. They examined the recent missing persons case, and the facts were shocking. Ambala, 13 girls missing; Karnal, 25 girls missing; and Yamunanagar, 16 girls missing. A total of 54 missing girls in just 10 days, aged between 16 to 35. And these were only the reported cases. Shockingly, no missing person report was filed in the Pratap Nagar police station where the girl was found dead. Police contacted all the families of these 54 girls. No closure, no identification. Now this case had become nightmare for the investigators. The postmortem report finally arrived. There were no signs of sexual assault, no struggle marks. Cause of death: strangulation. 6 days passed. The woman remained unidentified. On 12th December 2025, authorities performed her last rites, a woman whose name no one knew. But the investigation did not stop. Given the interstate nature of the crime, an SIT special investigation team was formed. One team scanned over 50 CCTV cameras across highways, patrol pumps, and bus stations. Another team analyzed call details record and digital footprints. And finally, a breakthrough. CCTV footage from Ayanwala village captured something unusual. On 6 December 2025 at 11:35 pm, a car with a glowing alloy wheels appeared on camera near a tile factory. 6 minutes later, at 11:40 pm, the same car was seen across Hatni Kund Barrage, heading towards Uttar Pradesh. Simultaneously, unknown mobile numbers were active near the crime location. Tracing those numbers led police to timber smugglers who revealed something crucial. They had seen a UP registered car roaming suspiciously between 11 pm and 1 pm near the incident area. Now, the police had direction. Technical analysis led police to Tadoli village, Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh. On 13th December 2025, police reached a house filled with wedding celebrations. Music, laughter, decorations. In the middle of this joy, police arrested the bride's brother. His name, Uma and Bilal, a 25-year-old taxi driver. Under interrogation, Bilal finally broke. The unidentified body belonged to his girlfriend Uma. The biggest shock came when police informed Uma's family. Their response was chilling. To understand the truth, police had to go back in the time. Halalpur village, Saharanpur, 3rd March 2012. Uma was 17 years old, the youngest among 6 siblings. Despite her age, her marriage was fixed. Her fiancé had a stable job. Wedding preparations were in full swing. On 3rd March, her Mehndi ceremony took place. Her wedding ceremony was scheduled for the next day. Uma looked happy. That night, around 9 pm, she went to sleep. At 10 pm, her sister checked on her and she was gone. By the morning, truth surfaced. Uma had eloped with a neighbor named Johnny. Shame crushed the family. To avoid humiliation, Uma's uncle married off his own daughter in Uma's place. That day, Uma's family cut all the ties with her, declaring she was dead for them. Uma married Johnny through court marriage. Within a year, she gave birth to a son, Rishabh. Johnny was a painter by profession. He was struggling financially. Over time, arguments escalated. After 11 years of marriage, Uma divorced him. Surprisingly, the custody of their son went to Johnny. Uma moved alone to Gangotri Colony, Saharanpur. She had no family, no husband, and no safety. In 2023, Uma met Uma and Bilal, a taxi driver from Tadoli village. Friendship turned into love. Soon they started living together. Bilal knew Uma's past. He never objected to her meeting her son. To Uma, Bilal felt like a second chance at life. In November 2025, she bought winter clothes for Rishabh, and that was going to be the last meeting with her son. On 6 December 2025 at 6 pm, Bilal arrived at Uma's home in a swift car borrowed from a friend. He promised her a surprise. Excited, Uma dressed in a black and white shalwar suit, black jacket and red shawl. Bilal drove toward Paonta Sahib, crossed Hathni Kund and entered Haryana. By 8 pm, darkness surrounded them. Near Kalisar National Park, tourist crowds forced Bilal to change the plans. Now he drove deeper into the isolated areas. Finally, near National Highway 907, he stopped the car in complete darkness. Under the pretext of intimacy, Bilal removed Uma's clothes. Then, without warning, he looped the seatbelt around her neck. Uma had no chance. She died silently. At 11:25 pm, Bilal dragged her body into the popular nursery. Using a meat-cutting knife, he severed her head. He placed it in a plastic bag. 12 kilometers away near Laldhang Khai, he threw her head and clothes into the deep gorge so the animals would destroy the evidence. He returned home, deleted everything, and slept peacefully. If you have made it this far, take a pause, like the video, and consider subscribing to the channel so that you won't miss out any content. Bilal never intended to marry Uma. His marriage to another girl was fixed for 14th December 2025. Uma had become the liability and he feared that she will expose him. Now Bilal is arrested and the evidence has been recovered. And let me end this video with a very important note to the parents and their children. Uma's tragedy began long before her murder. It began when her family abandoned her. Loneliness makes people vulnerable, and these predators know these things. This case teaches us one brutal truth, that the evil can hide behind the normal faces as well. Trust your intuition, never rush relationships, and families need to learn to forgive their children. She might have been living with us today if her family would have forgiven her and stay connected with her. Though she caused trouble to her family, but at some point of time she should have been forgiven, because no so-called honor is greater than the child's life. And lastly, keep your close friends or the family members informed when you are out, especially when the relationship is new. And if possible, share your live location with them. And with this, stay informed, take care of yourself, and stay safe. If you like this video, then I would request you to check out our other videos as well. The link is in description.